In 2023, U.S. police recorded a horrible milestone, killing at least 1,232 people, marking the deadliest year for such incidents in over a decade. The impact is disproportionately felt by marginalized communities, particularly people of color. The alarming statistics underscore ongoing concerns about excessive use of force, systemic issues, and the need for comprehensive reform to address the root causes of police violence in the United States. In the U.S., a recent report from Mapping Police Violence reveals a concerning trend. The number of people killed by police reached a new high last year, marking a steady increase. This grim record underscores ongoing challenges and prompts renewed discussions about policing practices and accountability. In 2023, the U.S. witnessed over 1,300 police-related fatalities, highlighting a troubling escalation. Notable cases included the fatal beating of Tyre Nichols in Memphis, Tennessee, exposing the gravity of police violence. Additionally, the shooting of an environmental activist protesting near Atlanta and the alleged smothering of a Virginia man in a hospital added to the distressing incidents. These high-profile cases underscore concerns about excessive use of force, sparking calls for reform and renewed scrutiny of law enforcement practices. The grim toll amplifies the urgency for systemic changes to address police violence and enhance accountability in order to safeguard the rights and lives of individuals across the nation. In 2023, the U.S. experienced just 14 days without a police killing, emphasizing a pervasive issue. On average, law enforcement officers took a life every 6.6 hours. These distressing statistics, primarily derived from news reports and government data, underline the frequency and systemic nature of police-involved fatalities. The findings raise critical concerns about the need for comprehensive reforms to address the patterns of violence and ensure greater transparency and accountability within law enforcement agencies nationwide. Since the inception of the Mapping Police Violence Project by Campaign Zero in 2013, the recorded incidents of police killings have increased, indicating a concerning trend. This rise underscores the ongoing challenges in addressing and curbing police violence, emphasizing the need for sustained efforts to reform law enforcement practices and enhance accountability. Contrastingly, in the same year, data from the Gun Violence Archive revealed a decline in civilian deaths by gunfire and officers killed in the line of duty. However, a troubling shift occurred with a rise in the number of police officers shot. This complex dynamic suggests a nuanced landscape of violence, urging a comprehensive examination of factors influencing interactions between law enforcement and the public.
I'm so disappointed in you. You have no idea.
Understanding these fluctuations is crucial for developing targeted strategies to enhance overall safety and address the multifaceted challenges faced by both officers and civilians. The trend in police killings has displayed resilience, remaining steady or slightly increasing even during periods of both declining and rising crime rates. This disconnect between crime levels and police-involved fatalities highlights the complex and independent factors contributing to the persistent issue of lethal encounters with law enforcement. During the global pandemic, the trend of police killings endured, challenging conventional expectations. Justin Nix, a criminal justice professor, notes that the sustained numbers, even amid extended periods of people staying home, suggest the need for substantial changes in policing approaches. The observation implies that addressing the issue requires comprehensive reforms, redefining the very nature of policing in the United States to achieve a significant reduction in police-involved fatalities. This underscores the urgency for transformative measures to enhance accountability and reshape law enforcement practices on a fundamental level. In a Los Angeles vigil on January 14, 2023, attendees demanded justice for Keenan Anderson, cousin of Black Lives Matter co-founder Patricia Cullors. Anderson tragically died on January 3 after Los Angeles police tassered him following a traffic collision leading to cardiac arrest. Protesters held signs urging the release of the LAPD officers' names involved in the incident and calling for their imprisonment. The case underscores the persistent concerns about police use of force, particularly involving tasers, and amplifies calls for transparency, accountability, and systemic changes within law enforcement.
Black Lives Matter is accusing LA police officers of using excessive force that resulted in the deaths of people they have stopped when responding to calls.
The public outcry at the vigil reflects a broader societal push for justice in the face of tragic and controversial police-related incidents. How many people were killed by police in 2023? In 2023, police killings in the U.S. rose to 1,329 from the previous year's 1,250, as reported by Mapping Police Violence. New Mexico had the highest per capita rate, witnessing 10.9 killings per 1 million residents. This alarming statistic reflects the urgency of addressing systemic issues in policing. A tragic incident, where police fatally shot a man after responding to the wrong address in April, highlighted the consequences of missteps in law enforcement actions. Following New Mexico, Alaska, and West Virginia also experienced elevated per capita rates, emphasizing the need for comprehensive reforms and increased accountability to mitigate the frequency of police-involved fatalities and safeguard the rights and lives of individuals across the nation. Abdul Nasser Rad, Managing Director of Research and Data at Campaign Zero, reports that nearly 90% of those killed by police were shot. Disturbingly, public records show that only 42% of these incidents were captured on body-worn cameras, highlighting transparency challenges. However, the accessibility of the footage remains uncertain, underscoring the need for increased transparency and public oversight in law enforcement practices. This discrepancy in documentation raises concerns about accountability and emphasizes the importance of addressing obstacles to obtaining and releasing crucial information surrounding police-involved incidents. Body camera footage, when released by police departments, has the potential to contradict initial accounts of incidents, offering a critical and objective perspective. However, the key challenge lies in ensuring consistent and timely public access to this footage to foster transparency and accountability within law enforcement practices. When cops stand trial in high-profile cases, is it easier to prosecute police now? The victims of police killings encompass individuals from diverse backgrounds, including people of color and those with mental health challenges. Abdul Nasser Rad notes that the persistent racial disparities observed in previous years continue at a similar rate. This underscores systemic issues within law enforcement, highlighting the urgent need for reforms to address not only the frequency, but also the disproportionate impact on marginalized communities. Recognizing and rectifying these disparities is essential for fostering a fair and equitable approach to policing in order to better serve all members of society. Racial disparities persist in police killings, with Black individuals facing a significantly higher likelihood than their white counterparts. Notably, tracking race remains challenging, as the data reveals that the race of the person killed is unknown in more than 20% of cases. This emphasizes the need for enhanced transparency and accurate documentation to address systemic issues and promote a fair and equitable approach to policing. In around 25% of police encounters resulting in fatalities, victims displayed signs of mental health issues, alcohol, or drug use. Abdul Nasser Rad emphasizes the challenge in reporting or clarifying these factors consistently. This underscores a critical gap in understanding the intersection of policing and mental health or substance use, indicating a need for improved data collection and training for law enforcement. In a poignant example, 3 San Antonio police officers faced murder charges in June after fatally shooting a woman undergoing a mental health crisis in her apartment.
Shot!
Shoot me!
This incident highlights the tragic consequences that can arise when law enforcement encounters individuals experiencing mental health challenges. The charges underscore the growing recognition of the need for proper training and crisis intervention strategies within policing to ensure that encounters involving mental health crises are managed with sensitivity and care, reducing the risk of unnecessary and fatal outcomes. What's causing the increase in police killings? Justin Nix attributes the rise in police shootings of civilians to the same factor he believes drove the increase in police officers shot last year: the prevalence of guns. The ubiquity of firearms in society creates a challenging landscape for law enforcement, intensifying the potential for lethal outcomes in various situations. This dual escalation underscores the complex interplay between armed encounters, officer safety concerns, and the need for comprehensive strategies to address the broader issues of gun accessibility and usage in order to mitigate the risks associated with police-involved shootings. According to Justin Nix, when individuals are tasked with policing in a nation where guns are abundant, and they undergo training that ingrains the idea that a firearm could be present at any moment, it creates an environment conducive to heightened tension and potentially lethal outcomes. The pervasive awareness of potential gun threats influences the mindset of law enforcement, contributing to a climate where the fear of encountering firearms becomes ingrained. Addressing this challenge requires not only changes in policing practices but also broader efforts to address gun accessibility and reshape societal attitudes toward firearms for a safer and more balanced approach. Justin Nix suggests that the data indicates limited effectiveness in the incremental reforms implemented over the past decade, such as increased use of body cameras and de-escalation and bias awareness trainings. The persistent high numbers of police-involved fatalities underscore the need for more substantial and transformative changes in policing. Nix advocates for a comprehensive approach, emphasizing that piecemeal reforms have not significantly mitigated the issue, highlighting the urgency of adopting more systemic and impactful measures to address the complex factors contributing to police violence and enhance accountability within law enforcement practices. Chuck Wexler, Executive Director of the Police Executive Research Forum, contends that research supports the efficacy of de-escalation training offered by his organization. Wexler's assertion suggests that targeted training programs can contribute positively to law enforcement practices, potentially offering a valuable avenue for reducing the frequency and severity of police-involved incidents. Chuck Wexler points out that the challenge lies in the uneven adoption of de-escalation training across the country's 18,000 law enforcement agencies. Implementation is hindered by staffing constraints and resistance from departments that may deem their existing training as adequate. This disparity in uptake underscores the need for widespread commitment to and standardized adoption of effective de-escalation techniques, addressing both logistical challenges and the necessity to overcome resistance within law enforcement entities to ensure comprehensive and consistent reform in policing practices. Chuck Wexler highlights a crucial issue, stating that many law enforcement agencies operate with outdated and antiquated training methods. He asserts that transforming this training and the associated culture is essential to lowering the persistently high number of officer-involved shootings. Wexler emphasizes the potential for substantial reduction through updated, comprehensive training that aligns with contemporary policing needs. Abdul Nasser Rod acknowledges the challenges in tracking incidents related to new gun laws, describing the process as grueling, disheartening, and frustrating. He emphasizes the crucial necessity for improved data collection to comprehensively capture the extent of the problem. The call for better data underscores the importance of accurate and detailed information to inform policymakers, law enforcement, and the public. A 2021 peer-reviewed study in The Lancet reveals a concerning discrepancy, indicating that over half of U.S. police killings are not officially reported in government data. This underreporting highlights significant gaps in the documentation of police-involved fatalities, raising questions about the accuracy and completeness of official records. Abdul Nasser Rod faces challenges due to underreporting in official data, relying on news reports that often lack crucial details. Recognizing the limitations, he underscores the importance of training for local journalists. Improved training would enhance journalists' ability to gather and report comprehensive information on police-involved incidents, ultimately contributing to better data quality. Justin Nix aligns with the need for improved data and emphasizes the importance of including information on non-fatal police shootings. Notably, the Gun Violence Archive reports that in 2023, over 800 individuals were shot and injured by police. This data gap underscores the significance of capturing the full spectrum of police encounters, both fatal and non-fatal, to comprehensively understand the impact of law enforcement actions and implement reforms that address the complexities associated with the use of force. Justin Nix illustrates the challenge of addressing police violence by likening it to assembling a puzzle without all the pieces. The absence of comprehensive data hinders the ability to manage the issue effectively. Without a clear understanding of the full extent of the problem, implementing targeted reforms becomes difficult. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you all liked it. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you will never miss any episode of our enthralling series. We are looking forward to seeing you next time, so stay curious about next video.